Hello, welcome to the PolyScience Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Fontana. Today, we have one of the top innovators of the liquid temperature control industry in the studio with me, Philip Preston, president of PolyScience, based in Niles, Illinois, and they've run this company for over 60 years. Philip, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here.
How did you guys start this?
Actually, my father founded the business. He was a very entrepreneurial guy, started several different businesses. We found our niche in liquid temperature control. He was always, though, moving on to new things, starting magazines in chromatography, toxicology, photography, chemical business. But I took over the PolyScience side of the business back in 1982.
We've taken your father's legacy, brought it into modern times. Your products today fuel some of the biggest industries out there.
It's extremely diverse because liquid temperature control is touching your life throughout your entire day. We are involved in CAT scan cooling, laser cooling, electron microscopes, analytical instrumentation, general lab equipment. We've also gotten into a lot of very fun emerging markets.
As a family-based company, you don't have as many restrictions in terms of research and development on new products, which has got to be liberating for you. I mean, you're able to take the gloves off and say, we can go crazy if we wanted to and go to the far extremes to invent something. How is that as a creator?
Well, I think that's actually one of the reasons why I've loved doing what I do for so long, because we're not constrained with typical companies. You know, I've got to have a payoff in 1 or 2 years. We get to play a long game. It's a lot more fun. It gives us that ability to be a lot more creative and explore things other companies couldn't. What comes out of it is this quest to really create the absolute best piece of equipment. We've developed this reputation for extremely high level of quality because it's not just my reputation riding on that. It's our customers' reputation.
So you're launching DuraChill. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, the DuraChill line really represents what we believe is the game changer in this world of precise temperature control and portable chillers, in that we've brought in all of the features that we could come up with that represent environmental considerations, reduction of refrigerant gas, prepared these units for the introduction of new refrigerants that will be even more globally responsible.
So talk to me about the PolyScience methodology of benefits, not features, when it comes to your innovations.
Well, I think that one of the things we want to look at is what's going to give that customer the best possible experience, and develop the technology to do that through self-changing filter as an example, eliminating the need to add algicide to the bath because we've got UV light control of biologicals. We also designed and patented the Whisper Cool noise reduction system that really just makes our chillers a lot more pleasant to be around. And we always are looking for ways that we're going to improve that customer experience and design and build these ultra reliable chillers.
I want to go through a few of the benefits and why they make sense for people to have them. It seems like an obvious idea, but a front fill reservoir. Why hasn't this been done before?
Well, actually, the front fill reservoir is something that we spoke with customers and meet with the installers of the equipment and looking at how can we make their life a lot easier. That ability to fill the reservoir from the front, but I think one of the added features that's tied into that front fill reservoir is a new system we developed for capacitance liquid level sensing of the reservoir. When you look at the display, we've got it's more like a fuel gauge on the display showing you the liquid level that's in the chiller, and this can prevent low liquid level damage to pump seals, and it also has eliminated the less than reliable float switch systems that had been used since the 60s, I guess.
All right, so 30 seconds. Literally 30 seconds is all it takes for a pump seal to fail if they run dry. How have your team come up with a solution to prevent this from happening in the new DuraChill line?
In the new DuraChill line, we incorporated capacitance liquid level sensing so that The customer sees the liquid level on the front panel, and before the pump starts sucking air that will cause that immediate damage to pump seals, we actually shut the system down, give visual and audible alarm. And so this is a far more reliable system than float switches, which are prone to sticking. Additionally, we're able to give pre-warning. You're at half of your reservoir is at half, you should probably top it off. And so we can just start flashing yellow and saying it's time to take some action before we go into a shutdown mode.
Makes total sense. Now, your commitment to the environment is more than just a corporate mission for you, and the new UV light system is a nod towards that commitment, right?
Yeah, I think that, even though the amount of algicide that is being used in a single chiller is rather minimal, especially when compared to swimming pools and such. When we look at the number of chillers and how many times there will be a fluid change with any given chiller within its lifetime, it adds up. And so if there is a way that we can control biological growth without adversely impacting the environment, then certainly we should do that.
Agreed. At any turn, we should do that. It's no big secret that chillers can be loud in the lab, but your team has worked to combat that issue with Whisper Cool. How does it work? And I know it's quiet, but it's adjusted to the sound, right?
The vast majority of the noise of a chiller is coming from the condenser fan. Typically, if you've purchased a 1-ton chiller, you just live with the noise of that fan. Historically, they've been single-speed fans. We developed the Whisper Cool system whereby we control the fan speed based upon the demands of the application. If, for example, your laser only needs 2 kilowatts of cooling, but you've got a chiller with a capability of 3 kilowatts, you don't have to sit next to this thing that's creating the associated noise.
Right.
This actually might be one of the single greatest points of differentiation in the PolyScience line, because it is so noticeable to a customer when they are spending their entire day working in a very close proximity to these chillers.
Explain to me, and for those listening who are trying to wrap their heads around a automatic filter system.
What we did was we took a roll of filter material, then there's a take-up reel, and the controller actually knows when a new filter is installed. There's enough media on the filter to provide a filter change once a month for a 2-year period. It's actually user settable. So if you were in a really harsh environment, change the filter more frequently. And if you're in a very clean lab, you could adjust it in the other direction and get more filter life out of it. What this does is it just eliminates potential for failure.
Can we talk about gas more to the point that you're doing with hydrocarbon gas?
Now, the initial launch of DuraChill is still using conventional refrigerant gases. However, through utilizing the new microchannel condenser technology, we have actually managed to cut the volume of the refrigerant gas by almost 50%. Also, in the design of the product and in changes to our production facility, we are now prepared to work with the hydrocarbon refrigerants. These are sometimes referred to as natural refrigerants, but they bring in some attributes in the environmental side, the global warming potential. The efficiency is quite high.
So it's got to be somewhat exciting yet overwhelming to know that this single innovation can work in so many different industries and change the game for so many different businesses.
I would say more exciting than overwhelming, actually. You never know what's coming next in the field of temperature control in terms of where it will lead you. As I mentioned before, it's taken PolyScience down some very exciting paths, from thermal cycling and building the unit that tested OJ's glove, to precise temperature sous vide cooking, to helping the cannabis extraction industry. And I'm excited to see where it's going to take us next.
You know, Philip, you have to be really proud of your team. I mean, talk to me about how it feels when everything comes together, our product's about to hit the market, and you know that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears, and so have your crew.
At PolyScience, the team is what really makes things happen there. We have a very, very dedicated team to provide the products on time at the highest quality, engineer the best possible solutions. Without that team, none of this would have been possible.
That's awesome to hear. It's been 3.5 years in the making, thousands of man hours dedicated to making this DuraChill come to life. And I know the industry is going to be really excited to see this product in action. Thanks for coming on the PolyScience Podcast. Really appreciate it, Philip.
Thank you, Frank. It's my pleasure.